All right. Is everybody ready for some Heritage Baseball tonight? Yeah, I think it should be fun. We usually have a good time breaking Heritage. So this is the back half of a case. We won't need to worry about using random.org to figure out which ones to open and all that jazz, since this is, in fact, the back half. I do like to go over a little bit of information before we actually start ripping into things, so let's get up and running with that. My feedback is automated on eBay, and whenever you leave positive feedback for me, through the miracle of automation, you won't even have to wait. You'll instantly get positive feedback in return. So how about that for a win-win? And the other message there is a big thank you. Appreciate you being here with me on this Saturday night. We'll do a little breaking and a little chatting, hopefully. So always appreciative of you joining me. Next up, we are looking at what's coming up in the days ahead. So these things are already listed on eBay. We're going to be breaking them over the course of the next several days. So tomorrow night is an off night. Monday night, a case of Inception Baseball. Tuesday night, Contenders Optic Football by the Master Case. Wednesday night, that's the release of Gypsy Queen. We're going to break a 5-box half case of Gypsy Queen Baseball. We will start a tad bit earlier than normal at 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific. Thursday night, we'll open a third case of Inception Baseball, a third case of Panini One Football. That'll be a master case, a 20-box master case. And that is, oddly enough, that's the release day for Leaf Metal Draft Football. I thought it was Friday, but no. Leaf sent out an email and said the release date is Thursday. So, for whatever that's worth. So, we'll have a new release on Thursday mixed in there, too. We'll break Leaf Metal Draft by the Hobby case, which is a 14-box case. And I believe it is 70 hits. 14 times 5 is 70, right? I think so. I hope so, anyway. So that's what we're looking at in the days ahead. So for what we're opening tonight, Heritage Baseball, I'm projecting it to be out the door and on the way to you approximately Thursday. Yes, I know that's a little slower than normal. Everybody probably is in the same situation. We've all kind of had our lives upended a little bit, many of us having to take care of things for elderly parents or neighbors and things, and that applies to us around here too. So if I can get it out to you sooner, then the date you see there, I absolutely will, but otherwise expect it to go on or about Thursday. Everyone will pull cards in here, so we do not need to worry about consolation cards. Everybody's going to get a package with a nice big chunk of cards in it. And let me check real quick and see if that last little team got paid. Hang on one second, guys. What is this thing asking me up here? I don't know what this is asking me. Who cares what that's saying? Let's just say okay. Some weird pop-up message. Yeah, I probably clicked into some virus, right? I don't think so. All right, looks like we are all paid up, so we can keep on trucking here. This is a 6-box half case of Heritage Baseball. Back half of the case we started a couple of days ago, I guess it was by now. And of course, it ended on eBay tonight, the same night we're breaking it, which is Saturday night, the 21st of March. Team names are on the left-hand side, winning bidders across from each team. They're on the opposite side. And I heard from Jay Allen that he messaged me. Apparently, eBay was being totally freaky tonight with you guys on the buyer-facing side. It was freaky with me a couple of nights ago when it wouldn't let me do any kind of invoicing, manual invoicing or anything. I could not get into invoicing, period. And then tonight, apparently, it was giving people outbid notices like 10 minutes after the auction ended and all kinds of crazy stuff. So it's a miracle anybody got anything done tonight, I guess. All right, you probably noticed right now your background has gone blurry, and I'm trying to get it where I want it to be here, but that is intentional. So I don't want you to worry about that. We're still going to be able to see everything that we need to see up close. So we're not worried about the background because we don't care about that. We care about the cards. We want to see what cards we get. And we'll be able to see those just fine, of course. And we are looking for one autograph or relic card in every box. So we'll find that. We'll find a box loader. We're going to find some parallels in here. I don't think we had our hot box in the first half of this case. I would not absolutely swear to that. but I don't think we did. So I expect that we'll probably find our hot box in here too, which will give us one purple chrome parallel in every pack when we do come across it. So our box loader out of the first one here, there's different types of box loaders. This one is the Super Baseball card. It's Max Scherzer for the Nationals. We may also find Greatest Moments, and we may also find original 1971 cards that have actually been in circulation in the general public since 1971 that Topps bought back and then added to this product. So Jay Allen is here and Gil is here. Gil's here early tonight. Yay. Hi, Gil. Jay Allen needs Phillies, Marlins, Royals, Rockies, Rangers, A's, and Reds. You got a bunch, man. And hi, Ron. Ron, everybody got paid up tonight, as a matter of fact. So, yeah, we don't have any unpaid tonight, but always appreciate the willingness to step in there on that, in that regard. And Jay Allen says eBay told him he was outbid on teams that he actually ended up winning. Isn't that crazy? I bet a bunch of you had that problem then. All right. Let's see if we can get our groove on. So I tell you, this is a strange topic, but listen, I go off on strange topics. Everybody knows this about me by now. So the other day, I was in the grocery store, and I was trying to pick up some extra water for my mother, because I had gotten her some when all this started, I don't know, a week or two ago, I guess. And then I found out she wasn't drinking it. She was trying to drink out of the tap because she was afraid that she needed to keep her other water for emergencies. And I was like, no, I want you to, drink the water that we brought over there and I'll find you some more. Of course, that proved to be a little harder than I thought. I had it reserved for me down at Sam's Club, and then they did not pull it. There were no pickup times for like a day and a half or something from the time I purchased it online. And of course, what they should have done is go pull it when the order came in because it was in stock and my order was confirmed. But what they did not do was exactly that. So then when it came time to pick it up, well, they were sold out and we had none. So I ended up having to go to the grocery store and find some other water. And about the only thing that was left was the really expensive water, Fiji. So I thought, well, that's all right, whatever. Let me get some extra because I don't want my mom to think she's got to be worried that she's going to run out of water. And so I got myself some at the same time. I got to tell you, it is really good. And there is a difference. I know that sounds stupid. Water should just be water and it should all taste the same. But really, it kind of doesn't. Like, I'm drinking that Fiji water right now tonight, and it doesn't. It does not taste the same. It's way better. I don't know if it's enough better to justify its price, but right now it was anyway. So, all right. So let's get rolling here and see what we can find. We are going to cut a pretty good little path through most of our base because, well, there's a lot of it, right? So we're not going to dwell on that. We're just going to look at the base and zip right on. So our hit out of this box comes out really early, and it is Yadi Molina, Clubhouse Collection relic for the St. Louis Cardinals. Now, I will tell you that generally speaking, we will find one short print or variation of some sort per box. I don't know that that's particularly necessarily guaranteed, but it just usually happens. Most of the time, it's going to be an action image variation, but it can also be missing facsimile signature. It could be a throwback jersey, a color swap, which is just the team name listed in silver as opposed to its normal regular color. It could be a rookie on a freestanding card, whereas usually in this set they're on dual cards like that. It's a variety of things. So if you happen to see one of those go by that I miss, please, please, please jump in there and tell me. Otherwise, what will happen is I'll have to go back later and double check everything and try to find it. But of course, my goal is to see it as we go through, but I don't always. All right, so this is an example of a card that has two different teams on it. We're going to find a bunch that either have 2 teams on them, 3 teams on them, 4 teams on them that are different. All of those variations are going to end up going up here into what I call our housekeeping area. They will sit happily up there, or maybe unhappily, but either way they're sitting there until the end of the break. There's another one. And then we'll use random.org, and that will help us figure out where those are going to go. So that's how that's going to work. Jay Allen, you said there was no hot box in the first half, so I was right about that. So we should have our hot box should be somewhere in this back half then. Okay, good. Strong Crosby, you like the Fiji water too? I know, man. It's like really good. And it shouldn't somehow be as good as it is, because I mean, water's water is what you kind of think. I mean, obviously spring water tastes a little different than tap water. But outside of that, you would think that any spring water would taste essentially the same, given that it's just water. But honestly, it really doesn't. It's really so much better. I kind of feel guilty about drinking it even because it's terribly expensive. But hey, it's what was on the shelf, so I got it, and so I can justify it, I suppose, for that reason. But, oh yeah, it's going to be hard to go back and drink the other stuff now because it's like, dang, it's good. Jay Allen, you just drink the tap water? You know what? Hey, if you're good with that, then I'm good with that. I just don't really like the taste of tap water very much, so I kind of don't usually, but... Oh, flashbacks. Yeah, this is another thing that's got to go up here into our little housekeeping area. So these flashback cards, some of them will have baseball players, baseball teams on it. The ones that do, of course, will go to the team that is depicted on the card. But the ones that don't, like that little All in the Family card there, that little grouping will again be given out to somebody using random.org at the end of the night. And if you wonder why I keep flipping some of these over, because I still, for whatever reason, I cannot get fixed in my head what all the action variations look like. And these days it prints it on the back and tells us, looky what we have, kids. A mini. Hey, minis don't come out all that often. Rafael Devers and the Red Sox. And it is numbered to 100 and even 100 with the Rafael Devers mini. I love the minis. Makes me very happy. Scott says, I better make sure to Lysol the Fiji bottle. Oh, listen, you don't even want to know all the stuff I go through. Like, you know, my mother needed something else today. I kind of always think I've got stuff squared away and everybody's got what they need. And then it'll turn out, no, somebody needs something. And, well, I just don't want my parents out doing it because they're elderly. They both have underlying health conditions and I just can't have them catching this stuff, you know? So yeah, today was just insane. I mean, I was putting on gloves, and then every time I would get in the car coming back from a place, I would take those gloves off and put new gloves on before I had to go into the next place. And then I would wipe down everything I had touched to get in the car before I could change the gloves, including all of the my keys and the door handles and everything. My purse, my wallet. I Lysol all the UPS boxes when they come in. I mean, it's just crazy. Chris Bryant and the Cubbies with the action image variation. So yeah, just for my errands today, I think I used 3 or 4 different pairs of gloves and an untold number of wipes, and of course the little Purell, the one lonely little Purell bottle that I have left that has stuff in it. I was just, if I could have gone out in a hazmat suit, I think I would have. Because our cases here are just exponentially increasing every day. Of course, I think it's already always been here to that degree. Well, not always, but in the last couple weeks. but we just didn't have the test to test everybody. And now that we're getting more tests available, naturally more people are testing positive and the numbers are going up. But I think those people have been wandering around everywhere for at least 7 or 10 days by now. Jay Allen, you said you always wash your bottles. Well, right, because I've got asthma too, but I'm not diabetic. But yeah, you're right. If you get sick, it does take you a long time to get over it. That is quite true. And yeah, I mean, these days, I don't know if anybody gets anything that they don't wipe it all down. I mean, it's just getting out of hand. It really is. Baseball's greatest moments. There's Tony Perez for my little Cincinnati Reds. How about that? Right on, kids. I like my little Cincinnati Reds. So that's our box loader there, heading to Cincy. Ah, we have hit our hot box. I see a little purple edge gleaming out at me. So every single pack, we're going to find a purple parallel, purple chrome. It won't be numbered, but the only place you get it is in the hot box. The other type of chrome cards that we can find in this product are the ones that are the black border, just like the base, except they're chrome. They're numbered to 999. And then there's a chrome version that is the silver chrome. And that, of course, numbered to 571. And then our hot box purples, which are unnumbered. Those are the 3 types of chrome cards that we can find in Heritage. But yeah, you know, I'm almost out of Lysol too, which kind of blows, because I had done an online order and the grocery store replaced it with some other kind of thing that they said was a disinfectant spray, which I read it, and it is, but it's also apparently like crazy hazardous. You can't get it on your clothes, you can't get it on your skin, you can't get it around animals and all this. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to have to start telling my delivery people when I run out of my Lysol, just leave it on the porch. I'll have to spray it outside and then wait like a half hour to bring it in or something, I guess. Ooh, Jay Allen, the last time you had the cold or flu or whatever it was, it took you 2 months and 2 rounds of antibiotics to get past it. Oh man, well you better not be leaving your house either. You best be keeping yourself inside for a couple of weeks too, I think. As I guess most of us are at this point. Well, I guess some are, some aren't. I would be inside probably more if I weren't running around picking some things up, but I would still have had to have been out some. Yeah, I had to have some more of that Fiji water. It's calling to me over there. It's calling my name. Yeah, it's crazy how good it is. There's another then and now. Here is our purple hot box chrome parallels. You know what? I think I'll sleeve these after the break rather than doing it right now. I think we'll just... Well, you know what, though? If we're going to recap them, I probably do want them sleeved if we're going to be recapping them, because then I'd have to touch them an extra time. So we will go ahead and do it as we go, I guess. Maybe I'll just stack a couple of them up and then stop and do them instead of stopping every single time. So we had a Nick Senzel that was a purple. Wait. That Kevin Biggio going to be an image? No. Okay. Oh, that's right. Last year was his. They put his rookie cards in last year's. Mike Soroka for the Braves. And Eloy for the White Sox. And again, purple are unnumbered, but they're still cool. I still like them. And of course, we'll be diving into Gypsy Queen starting next week. That's another base heavy product, but it is a product I like a lot. I always look forward to Gypsy Queen. Juan Soto for the Nationals. This should be Blue Jays, Vlad Guerrero Jr. So even though there's a lot of cards in it too, I'm looking forward to it. Padres and Tatis. David Dahl and the Rockies. We'll go ahead and put that last little group here, get them all safely tucked away, and then we'll carry onward. After we get our little purples all happily tucked into their sleeve there. Oh, that's a good idea, Jay Allen, because the smell is quite hideous from a lot of that Lysol and stuff. I will agree with you. It gives me a terrible headache. Almost any kind of strong scent gives me an instant headache. There's Juan Soto for the Nationals, our action image variation for this box. So cologne, perfume, candles, Dodgers and Max Muncy. Any kind of strong smell. The Lysol, just as soon as I smell it, I've got a headache. Andrus for the Rangers. So I do rather dread using it most of the time, so I may try what you said since it doesn't smell, you said. Isopropyl alcohol on a paper towel. All right. Diamondbacks and Christian Walker. That is the chrome I was telling you about with the black border. So it's numbered to 999. Then there's another purple. That is Rizzo and the Cubbies. And, of course, a flashback there. The Astros and Carlos Correa. I haven't heard anything else yet about the announcement that they made the other day about, well, it wasn't really an announcement, but it was reported that they are considering, the clubs are considering not having the draft this year. The Mariners to 571, Daniel Vogelbach. We may as well stop and do these. Martinez for the Red Sox. These others are the ones we already looked at a minute ago. So I keep hoping I'm going to see something else that says, no, that's not ever going to happen. They're going to have the draft. They're just going to postpone it. They're going to delay it. They're going to something. Because I'm going to be really unhappy if they don't have it at all. Oh, you said it smells bad too, but as soon as it dries, the smell's gone. As soon as it evaporates, the smell's gone. Well, it can't really do worse than Lysol. I mean, the first, every time the boxes come in at the, well, it's not actually the first of the week. I guess it's the middle of the week. But whenever the new release boxes come in, and there's a lot of them that come in on any given day, the first time I use it for the day, which is usually FedEx, they get here before UPS most days. I mean, I just think it has barely started to clear out of the house, and then there will come the next one. There will come UPS or the post office or somebody drop in a bunch more. It's like that whole day my house just, has that Lysol smell. The Dodgers and Clayton Kershaw with a Clubhouse Collection relic. Although really everything I've read says it won't really live on cardboard, so you don't have to worry about what happened to it on the front side. You only have to worry about if your driver that's dropping it off has something going on. So that was Gleyber Torres and Albert Pujols with our two purple chrome. And in which case they could put something on it, but otherwise they say on cardboard it's dead after about 24 hours. That was Cabrera and the Tigers. Cardinals and Dakota Hudson. Of course, one would hope that your delivery people wouldn't go to work if they were sick, but yet we all know the story of my postal carrier. so she worked right on through, and I'm pretty sure she had it based on the symptoms that she described, and the doctor just wouldn't test her for it because she was right in the beginning of when that was starting to happen around here. She was within that first week, and they just didn't have very many tests, and they weren't testing her. I'm pretty sure she had it. So I am quite pleased that I did not catch it from her, because I would have had it by now, I think. It's a miracle that I didn't, but somehow I didn't. An Ohtani. Probably because of my Lysol and my gloves and all the other crazy stuff I do. Austin Meadows for the Rays. Polanco for the Twins. And maybe the 9,000 times a day I wash my hands. Pilar and the Giants. Of course, I probably always wash my hands more than the average person, because every time I'm sitting down to touch cards, of course, I've washed my hands immediately prior. So anytime I'm sitting down to sort, and then if I have to get up and do something, you know, answer the phone or go get a package or whatever, then start all over again, wash them again before I sit back down. And of course, when breaking and sorting and shipping and all that. So I already wash my hands about 1,000,000 times a day. And now I'm doing it even more than I was. So they're probably just going to fall right off. They're just going to dry up and fall off. Does make your skin so dry. All right, we've got another greatest moments for our box loader. So that will be our second one of those, right? Our second one of those, I think. Yeah. I believe that is right. Jay Allen, you said you're a germaphobe for good reason. Scott, you are too? Yeah. I don't know that I'm really necessarily normally a germaphobe, but I do, of course, have a very heightened awareness of all of it right now, because even though I would probably recover from it, I don't know that my parents would, and so they've got to have somebody helping them out, so I got to make sure I stay healthy. Buster Posey for the Giants. And that's our greatest moments box loader. Because if anybody in the house gets sick, that's it, man. I mean, then the whole house is quarantined. So I can't have anybody getting sick, because then what would my mom do? She'd be stuck at her house with no way for me to help her or get her anything. So Scott, you didn't have to change any of your cleaning habits. You were already ready. I like it, man. I like it. Well, I didn't normally wear gloves when I was out shopping. Now, I mean, I always take those disinfectant wipes that they have at the front of stores, and I always wiped down my cart, and I would usually keep that disinfectant wipe as I went through the grocery store, and I would just kind of use that to hold the handle of the cart and stuff, even after I had wiped it down. So, I mean, I've always done stuff like that. But I wouldn't normally be worrying about spraying my boxes with disinfectant as they come in the door and that sort of stuff. So that part's new. And changing, putting on gloves every time I go out the door and changing them every time I leave a store and go back to the car. That's certainly out of my norm, too. But hey, maybe I guess it's our normal now, isn't it? I did check with one of my reps on Friday, because one of the warehouses that I get my stuff from, I get things from multiple distributors. One of them is in Tennessee, one of them is in Georgia. There's one in Pennsylvania, there's one in New York, there's two in New York actually, and a few assorted others here and there. But one of the main ones in New York, I thought they might have to shut down because of, well, pretty much the state's on lockdown. So I called my rep and I said, hey, man, what's going on there with that? Because I wouldn't think this would be considered essential business, right? It's supposed to be shut down to all but essential business. And I was afraid we weren't going to get our national treasures and our product for next week. And he goes, no, we're still open. And he's like, I don't know why, but we are. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what happens. And then he sent me a list today by way of text that apparently the state exempted any wholesaler of any sort. So if you were a wholesaler, they called you, quote unquote, essential business. So I guess we're, in fact, not even going to have any disruption in our supply chain in the foreseeable future for our cards. So how about that? All right, so this is an insert, of course, that is a little different with the white parallel. We generally find, I don't know, a handful of those as we go along. Not an extraordinary number, but they are not numbered, but they are parallels, obviously. So generally try to set them aside for that reason. Oh, there's Kutch. I think he's a high number short print, Kutch is. I'm pretty sure he is. So it's different than the ones that say action or whatever on them. But I believe that for the Phillies, that Andrew McCutchen is a high number short print, I think. Oh, Jay Allen, you're talking about your grandmother? Yeah, I don't have any living grandparents, but I feel you on that. Yeah, you definitely would have to be super careful around her. I mean, at this point, I don't even, like, I stay 6 feet away if I'm dropping something off at Mom's, and I wipe it down before I take it in. She wipes it down after I take it in again, and we're being very, very, very careful with anything, because you just don't know where one little germy could be hiding. But yeah, I would be, if I still had grandparents living, I would probably just be losing my mind. Hey, we have a redemption, and boy, is it a good one. It is a little Fernando Tatis Jr. for the Padres. Autograph special edition parallel. Woohoo! How about that? How you like me now, Padres? Yes, I would say that makes somebody pretty happy. Normally, we hold our redemptions until the end of the break, and we flip them over and then go to the website and verify the team and all that fun stuff. However, that one happened to hit face up. So as such, we went ahead and talked about it because there it was. So why not, right? That's the way I look at it. We will still go to the website at the end and just put up on the screen so you can see that it's a Padre, that I'm not just making that up and telling you something for no good reason. But otherwise, we already know who it is because, hey, there you go, hit face up. So Tatis is a good one for San Diego. And special edition parallel, I would assume that, would that mean the red ink? I mean, what other edition is there in here that would be a parallel for an autograph besides the red ink in this product? So if so, that's even better, because those, of course, are very low numbered and hand numbered usually. So I definitely like that. You can find a lot of fun stuff in Heritage and Heritage high number and whatnot. High number, of course, coming out later in the year. Yeah, Jay Allen, you think the same thing I do. I'm with you. I think it is going to be the red ink because I can't think of what else would be any kind of special edition parallel. So, was that a silver team name, he says. On which one? Well, I tell you what, let's see. There's a white, blue, white. How far back are we talking, man? I don't see it right in here. Ah, right there. That Nationals. Woohoo! You have a good eye, my friend. Nicely done. See, that's why I've got you guys on patrol helping me look for things. Because sometimes I'm looking at the image and I miss the color swap, which is what happened here. So this is our variation out of this box. It is the silver team name for the Nationals and Max Scherzer. And thanks to Jay Allen, we didn't have to go back through that stack later and look for it. So I'm super happy about that. Thank you, thank you. This is the one product where, as we are breaking it, I keep every box stacked individually. Normally, I don't do it like that. Over in the area next to me, I just I don't like my stacks to get very tall, so I just stack a bunch of little stacks here and there. But in this product, I always keep each box stacked separately. So if we have a box where I do overlook the variation in the box, I can go back through the stack and try and find it. And Jay Allen just helped us from having to do that because I shot right past it. And that's exactly what I would have done. I said, oh, hang on, I gotta look at the back of all of them. So thank you, sir. Appreciate you. I find sometimes I catch myself, I'm looking, is the facsimile signature there? Is the image different? I'm looking for the things like that. And the color swap, when I miss it, is often the one I miss. Because for whatever reason, I don't look at that part of it as much. Okie dokie, we are halfway home. We have opened 3. We have 3 left to go. Our box loader here is going to be one of our original 1971 cards. You can expect this and any others that we may find to be miscut, off-centered, well-loved, probably with rounded corners, lots of chipping, lots of wear, sometimes even creases. They've been floating around out in the ether since 1971. So yeah, look at all the corners. I mean, that thing is beat up. But nonetheless, there you go. Hennigan for the Cleveland Indians. A 1971 original card buyback. Our box loader from box number 4. I know, you do always have my back, Jay Allen. I love it. I miss you on the nights when you're not here, or the nights when you're like here, but then you have to go because you got to get some rest for work the next day. I'm always like, oh, where? Oh, Jay Allen's gone. I don't have anybody to talk to. Now, sometimes there's nights where lots of people chat, but then there are other nights when not very many people do. And then I'm like, kind of la 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 la. You get used to having people chat, and then on those nights where no one's chatting, it's so out of the ordinary. It's kind of like, oh, this is, I don't know what to do with all the free space. Fortunately, that doesn't happen too much. Scott Miller says, these are crap. All right, my friend, are you talking about the box loaders, or are you talking about the product itself, or what are we talking about here? I'm not sure, because the product itself I definitely don't think is crap. I love Heritage. I like going back to the past year designs. And of course, we've had some nice hits in here tonight, too. So I suspect you're talking about the buyback, the original 1971 card. Most people don't like those. Because they are always beat up, and they're often players we don't know from Jack. But also, it's free, It's just an extra little thing they throw there on the top of the box to be nice. So I figure, whatever, who cares? It's free. Now, if they put a bunch of those in the packs and then we lost other cards because it took the place of a card that should have been in a pack, well, I might have a problem with that. But if you're just going to give it to me extra, well, that's fine. All right, let's get rolling with this box. The Phillies, that is another high number short print right there. So we had one earlier. It was also a Philly, wasn't it? It was Andrew McCutchen. And then we have the other one here for Bryce Harper. So a couple of high number short prints. And truthfully, there are probably more high number short prints in here too that I just don't necessarily catch when we go through the first time. But it is anything, like for instance, there's another one, Ohtani for the Angels. It's, I think, anything from 401 and above or something. But there are lots of them, even though they're technically quote-unquote short prints. There are lots of them. So I am focused really on finding us the variation in every box is generally more what I'm in tuned to and trying to make sure we don't miss. Yeah, Scott says those old cards are always so damaged. Yeah, they are. I mean, some of them you look at them and just think, I mean, did somebody put that through the washing machine or what? I mean, some of them are very rough. I've had them come out before with big creases in them and things. I mean, what are you going to do? They've been around, floating around since 1971. Who knows where Topps buys them? Probably just goes on eBay and buys somebody's collection or something. Who knows? Kyle Schwarber and the Cubbies with a Clubhouse Collection relic. What you would like to think that they're doing or that they've been doing for maybe the last 10 years, I'm sure they haven't. But it would have been really cool if they had been keeping cards, certain cards back for the last 10 or 15 years, ever since trading cards got out of the junk wax phase. And then maybe 10 or 15 years from now, by that point the card would be 20, 30 years old, start putting those back into packs, but having never let them go out into circulation. You know what I mean? Like keeping them there at the facility. So they're in nice, good, pristine shape and making those be the cards that show up many years from now. I'm sure that's not the way they're doing it, but it would be kind of cool if they had done it that way, I think. I would have liked that anyway. But who knows? They probably would, something would happen to it between now and then anyway. You know, somebody would steal them, something. Why would I think somebody would steal them? I don't know why I would think somebody would steal them. Maybe because I just finished watching McMillions not too long ago. So now I'm obsessed with insider theft. Have you ever watched that documentary? It's quite interesting. It's multiple parts. I want to say it was about 6 parts long. So we have another one for the Nationals, and it is once again the silver team name, and it's Juan Soto. So you've got 2 silvers tonight for the Nationals already, with the one with Juan Soto and one was Scherzer, and then you also had an action image variation for Soto. So the Nationals are racking up on the variations in this box. But so yes, if you haven't watched it, McMillions, it's on HBO Go and or regular HBO if you subscribe to it on your cable service. And it's a 5 or 6 part documentary all about how these people back in the height of McDonald's monopoly, for those of you who remember when that used to be a big annual thing, McDonald's monopoly, because it was a huge thing, how they were really taking all of the game pieces. It's another high number short print, Marwin Gonzalez and the Twins. So they were taking all of the good winning game pieces and giving them out to their friends and family and things, and got caught by the FBI. And there was a trial and whatnot, so I don't remember it from when it was in the news nationally from however many years ago. I don't remember it at all. But I think it was around the time of 9/11, so that's probably why that would have wiped it off the headlines pretty quickly. The Nationals and Andrew Stevenson with a variation. But the documentary is quite interesting, even though we know what the ultimate outcome is about how it worked. You know that up front, even going into watching the show, but it's still pretty interesting. So, but it does really make you wonder how much other stuff like that is rigged that the company doesn't even know about, because McDonald's didn't even know that they had these rogue people doing all this insanity. Jay Allen, you do remember when it happened? See, I don't. I just have no recollection of that at all. I don't even remember that news story, even the headlines of that news story. Somehow that bypassed me. I had read a little bit about it before I started watching the documentary, but that was it. Numbered to 571, there are your rookies for the Dodgers on a chrome parallel. Dustin May and Gavin Lux. But so if you're stuck in the house and don't have anywhere to go, you need something to watch, it's fun to watch if you're into that sort of thing. I am currently going back and watching all of the Star Wars movies in the proper order from the first one forward. Now, I hated the prequels the first time I watched them when they came out in the theater. I've maybe only watched them once since they came out because I hate them so dreadfully. And I have managed to suffer my way back through the 3 prequels, and I continue to hate them with a passion. Other than the third one. The third prequel, the one right before what we know as Star Wars, the original Star Wars, it's not as bad as the other 2. Molina and the Cardinals, we have another greatest moments. Lots of those tonight for box loaders. So I'm just about, well, I think I have wrapped up The Empire Strikes Back. So I'm through the first 5. And so I still have, 4 more to go. And then all the weirdo ones after that can just drop in anywhere. Rogue One and Han Solo, a Star Wars story, those can just go wherever. But out of the original 9, I'm watching them all the way through in order for the first time. I've seen them all, but just not straight through one right after the other. So we're finding all kinds of creative ways to entertain ourselves. A lot of it's on Disney Plus. We're just watching the heck out of Disney Plus around here right now. Even if it's old content like that. I mean, I can't even tell you the last time that I saw those prequels. Because I saw them when they came out, and maybe one other time since then, but so long ago that I barely even, I remembered the premise of them, but I couldn't have certainly given you any scene specifics, unlike the other Star Wars movies, which I watched far more frequently. I have to say, though, I don't love this last one that wrapped up. I really didn't like it too much. The sequel, this most recent one. What was it called? Was it The Last Jedi? Is that what it's called? The Force Awakens I loved. When they started them back up, it was fantastic. And then the one after that was pretty good still. And then this most recent one was kind of disappointing. It wasn't prequel kind of disappointing, but it was nonetheless disappointing. Did not measure up to The Force Awakens. Oh yeah, Jay Allen, that's another good place to get stuff in the Amazon Prime app. I've gone through and watched about everything there is that I found of interest in HBO Go. I watched a bunch of stuff in Amazon Prime. I haven't been into Netflix at all for the last, I would say, week. And instead, we've been watching stuff on Disney Plus. And then I figure by the time we get done with all of that, there'll be new stuff on Netflix and we can just start going around again. That would be my hope. Because they're not putting out as much new content as everybody needs right now, considering we're all stuck at home. But they are debuting some movies early. They're really expensive if you want to get them. They're, I think, $20, most of them. But you can get them digitally. Some of them that are just recently out of the theaters, they're going ahead and bringing them to streaming video because of everybody being stuck inside. So they're coming out now instead of in several months when you would otherwise get them on DVD or Blu-ray or whatever your choice is. But you do have to pay for those. Oh, Jay Allen, you've never seen the prequels or the sequels. Just the original Star Wars trilogy. Wow. Oh, I was so excited when the first of the prequels came out before we knew how horrible they were going to be. I was so excited. And then after I saw that first one, I thought, oh my gosh, they've ruined Star Wars. And then they somehow just kept getting worse going through them. But the sequels, well, I like them. The Force Awakens was fantastic. And then they have gone down a little since then. The other two could not really replicate The Force Awakens, but it's an excellent movie. So, the first of the sequels. Patrick Corbin, Nationals Clubhouse Collection Relic. Scott, you said you're missing out. Who's missing out? Jay Allen's missing out? Yeah, I agree on the sequel part, but the prequel part, truthfully, the thing that bothers me the most about the prequels, it's not as much the storyline. The storyline's not terrible in them. I just can't deal with Anakin once he's past pod racing age. The actor just bugs me. He has such a wooden sort of delivery, and there's all these moments where you're expecting there to be passion or something, and it's just all of his line deliveries. It's just kind of like a little block of wood. So that bugs me. And then Jar Jar. That's the other thing that just ruins them for me. Misa thinks that you might like Misa. I was like, oh, I cannot have you anymore, Jar Jar. You must leave immediately. But there are plenty of people that like Jar Jar. Had no problem with him. I do not fall within that category. I'm here to tell you. Number 2, 571. There is Xander Bogaerts and the Red Sox with a chrome parallel. Oh, now, I will agree with you there, Scott. I do like Ewan McGregor as the early Obi-Wan. I will agree with you there. I think that was very well cast. He's about the only one that was, though. I mean, Mr. What's in Your Wallet as Mace Windu, he's another one that's just miscast. And What's His Head, the other action guy, Liam Neeson, as Qui-Gon, I thought he was miscast. I just thought they went out of their way to try and cast these big names in the prequels, but the people just somehow didn't fit into the story, really. Whereas in our original ones, most of the people were unknown or relatively unknown, and so they didn't get in the way of their characters. And a lot of the casting, I thought, got in the way of the character in the prequel. Manny Machado, action for the San Diego Padres. That's our image variation out of box number 5. But I will say, I agree with you. McGregor is the one out of there that did not bother me. I thought he was really quite good as young Obi-Wan. Everything about him fit the way it should have. It fit the way you think of the character and the way you know him to be in the future. But all those other strange ones were just weirdly cast. And you said, well, Natalie Portman. Well, okay. Natalie Portman doesn't totally bug me in there, but I also didn't find her to be completely, what's the word I'm looking for? Captivating. I didn't watch her performance and think, oh, she should have been nominated for something. But no, she didn't bug me. But she didn't overwhelm me with her performance either. So But certainly she was on the better side than most of the others. Jay Allen heard that Jar Jar ruined it. You were annoyed by the commercials and you knew you couldn't take that. Yeah, the one, well, he's not really in the third one very much, which is probably one of the reasons that I liked the third one better than the others. And it's really the second one that he kind of ruins almost entirely. So the Mets, here we are again, really heavy, rounded corners, heavy chipping, lots of wear, miscut, off-centered, etc. Original 1971 card is our box loader, and it is for the Mets. Scott's not a fan of those 1971 cards. I feel you, man. It's kind of like, why are they putting them in there? Because I don't know anyone that looks at them and loves them and thinks, oh, that's the greatest thing ever. It would be cool that they put them in there if they were in even remotely collectible condition. But none of them are ever in collectible condition. So at that point, why not just go ahead and put in another Super Baseball box loader or something like that and call it a day, I guess. But I suppose it would be considered tradition by this point. So they'll do it forevermore in Heritage. Do I think I can top off the good day for the Nationals in here? Hey, we'll try it. We'll call forth the mojo for you. Jay Allen says if they'd killed off Jar Jar after 3 minutes, there would have been a standing ovation in the theater. I would just love to know who came up with that character. Everything about him is annoying. The way he looks is annoying. The way he moves is annoying. But it's the way he speaks that puts you over the absolute edge. But the combination of the three is deadly. It's truly deadly. Jay Allen, you need something out of here too? All right, my friend. We will also try to conjure up the mojo for you. Phillies, Marlins, Royals, Rockies, Rangers, A's, and Reds. All right, we've got a big checklist there to see if we can have some magic appear for Jay Allen out of Last Box Mojo here as well. All right, let's get with it and see what we've got. We haven't seen an autograph yet tonight, have we? So maybe we'll have an autograph in here. For the Rangers, numbered to 999, it is a chrome parallel for Danny Santana. More of our little things up there that we've got to find a home for. We'll be wearing it out over there on random.org shortly. Lots of things to give out for it. Oh, right, the redemption, Jay Allen. I forgot about that. We do have an autograph then, a good one. Yeah, that did. I forgot about that one. So thank you for reminding me of that one. Of course, we would have seen it in the recap, but I was thinking we hadn't pulled any. And then if we were to come across a relic, I would have been just carrying on. So see, you saved us from potentially having to hear me throw a fit unnecessarily, because we do have an autograph. One I just forgot about because it was a redemption. And in fact, it is another relic, but it's a hand-numbered one, so there's some extra value in that. DJ LeMahieu for the Yankees. It is number 43 of 44, hand-numbered. Why would they stop at 44, not go to 45 or 50? Who knows? It doesn't even say 44. It says 99. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. That tells you what my vision is like. I looked at that and thought it said 44. And then when I looked at it the second time, I'm like, no, it says 99. Oh, mercy. All right. Thank you, eye doctor. Well, now that makes more sense. That it's numbered out. It's 99. Oh, man. I know. What are you going to do? Age and botched eye surgery. They don't mix well together now, do they? At least not at this middle distance where I do breaks. I can see fine if it's far away. Or better. Maybe not fine, but better. And I can see better if it's closer. It's right here in this little range from where we're breaking out to say there. I am prone to seeing weird stuff. I know. But hey, the guy butchered my eye. What can I tell you? Messed it up good. A long time ago now, though. I'm mostly used to it. J. Allen, you said you got Zip. Well, we had some high number short prints for you for sure for the Phillies. You do have the Phillies, right? Didn't you say you had the Phillies? Yeah, so we at least have those, but... And again, there probably are other high number short prints that I just didn't catch when we went through because those are fairly plentiful. I don't always note those when they go through. In fact, I often don't unless it just jumps out and I catch it. But they are short prints nonetheless at, I think, 401 and higher. Isn't that right? It's usually 401, I believe. Yep, Francisco Lindor is our guy. So our variation from this box goes to the Indians with Francisco Lindor. So the Padres did well tonight, and the Nationals did very well tonight too. So a couple of teams with multiple hits, counting, of course, the variations and short prints and whatnot, which we do definitely consider in this product. Because that stuff's worth some money too, particularly when you hit it on the rookies or the younger players. One little stack left to look through up here, and then we'll move into what we've got to handle for housekeeping. And that, of course, is all of this fun stuff. We're going to have to use random.org to sort out and find homes for all of these things. So we're going to start with our flashbacks cards. And these are the ones that do not have, of course, a baseball team on them. So we're going to use random.org, and here's how it's going to work. Some of our randoms tonight will have 9 or fewer items in the list. Whenever we do one like that, we do random 3 different times, and only the third random counts. The first 2 don't. Now, when we have one that has 10 or more, which this flashbacks will have, because there are 30 teams that will have a shot at it, we do random only one single time, and it will go to whoever ends up in the number 1 spot after we randomize. I'm scratching around here trying to get I've got to open a new pack to get a team bag out so that I can put these flashback cards in it and then write on it, so I will know where they go after the fact, and I won't have to go back and look for them later, in other words. All right, so flashback cards safely in their little bag, and we can move onward towards finding them a home. All right, so I'm going to take you over here, and I'm following shortly behind you. All right, so I'm going to scroll through. You can see where all of the teams were copied and pasted into the list. Once again, we'll do random one single time since we have 10 or more. Whoever ends up in the number 1 bidding spot is going to get these flashback cards. And looks like it is headed to the Tampa Bay Rays. So let me bring you back to me. That is this little stack of cards right here. Of course, as you can see, it is in the team bag. I'm not writing on the card itself. Obviously, I would never do that. But what I am doing is labeling up the little bag. Now, we've got lots of stacks of other stuff up here that have multiple teams on them. And it's pretty easy the way that we do it. I'm going to just type in the positions on the card. We'll run random 3 times. Whatever the third one lands on will determine how these will be awarded. So, for example, we'll start with this stack where I'm going to just type in top and bottom. If top wins, it will be the team on the top of each of these cards. If bottom wins, it's going to be the team depicted on the bottom of each of those 2 team cards. So that's a pretty easy one to handle. Well, they're all pretty easy to handle, but I should say this one takes less time than some of the others will. And remember, this one goes 3 times, so ignore the first one, ignore the second one. Here comes our third and final 3 times, date and time stamp. It is going to the team on the top of the card. So this first one, of course, is in a sleeve, meaning I'm writing on the sleeve and not the card. So we are going Astros, Pirates, Astros, Pirates. Trent Grisham is who? I've already forgotten who he is. I should know that. Brewers? Padres. Trent Grisham is Padres. Pirates and Astros. Okay, so that's how those are going to go out the door. Next up, we've got then and now. Similar circumstance, except I'm going to type in left and right. That's how those will be figured out here in random. Left and right. All right, we're running it 3 times, so you can ignore the first one, ignore the second one. Here comes our third and final. 3 times, date and time stamp goes to the left. So we will circle the first one that has a sleeve on it, and then we'll roll through these. So we're looking at Mets, Pirates, Twins, Orioles, Cardinals, Twins, and Twins. So that's how that little stack is sorted out. Next up, a big stack, batting leaders. So this is going to be typed in top, bottom left, bottom right, and there we're going to go again. Kind of the same deal, except with different positions in random.org. All right. First one does not matter. The second one does not matter. Here comes the one that does matter. 3 times, date and time stamp gives it to the team on the top. All right. So we'll take a quick little spin through these. So we have White Sox, Nationals, Mets, Astro, Met, National, Met, White Sox, Astro, White Sox, Astro, National, Brewer, Astro, Dodger, National, White Sox, Dodger, Astro, White Sox, National, Astros, White Sox, Mets, Nationals. So there are your teams that have 3 or more teams on the card. And finally, we have a little stack here that has 4 different teams on the card. Each of these do. So this, of course, will go in top, lower left, lower middle, lower right. Okay, first one does not matter, neither does the second one, but this one does. 3 times date and time stamp, once again goes to the position on the top. Random is being quite unimaginative tonight, aren't they? All right, so that means we are Nationals, Royals, and Nationals, giving out the last of the ones that had to go through random. Now we can get ready to do our recap, which will keep us busy here for a moment or two. We do need to go check out that redemption, though, so I guess maybe let's do that first before we get totally underway with the recap. We'll go ahead and get Mr. Tatis squared away. So he's a Padre, but you know that I always go to the manufacturer's website if it's an option to do so, just so everybody can see it. There's no confusion, and you don't have to take my word for it or any of that kind of stuff. So that's what we're going to do. What is that? Yes, fine. Why is it asking me that all of a sudden? All right, so Heritage Baseball, and we're looking for Real One autographs as our category here. It's technically special edition, but either way, if it says Real One autograph, that would do too, because he's going to be the same team no matter where we find him. We just have to find him. Not high numbers. Yeah, so see, there's our high number short prints, guys, starting with 401, which is what I thought it was, all the way up through 500. And then base card variations, but we're not worried about that right now. We're looking for the autographs. We're scrolling for a long time, aren't we? A long, long time. Oh, come on. No, not French. Not French. Why can I not find this? How many pages is this checklist? Good grief. Well, eventually, I guess we'll get there. Have you all seen it? Did we go buy it already? The Real One autograph? Surely to goodness I didn't go buy it already, but my goodness, we're way down in here finally. Good grief. All right. So, Fernando Tatis Jr., San Diego Padres. That's all we were looking for. Even though we knew he was Padre, we needed to put him up there. So, and again, this is the special edition parallel, which we believe is going to be the red ink version, which will be hand numbered. Of course, Topps doesn't give you that information on their website, unlike Panini, but I believe that that is the case. That's what we discussed when we pulled it, and that's kind of the general consensus, I think, is that's what we're looking at. Chrome cards. All right, this one is to $9.99 for the Rangers, $5.71 Red Sox, $5.71 Dodgers, $5.71 Mariners, $9.99 Diamondbacks. Hot box, purple parallel. These are unnumbered, but you only find them in the hot boxes. Angels, Rays, Twins, Giants, Blue Jays, Angels, Yankees, Tigers, Cardinals, Brewers, Nationals, Dodgers, Rangers, Cubs, Astros, Red Sox, Nationals, Blue Jays, Padres, Rockies, Reds, Braves, White Sox, Dodgers. All right. So that's all of our Chrome parallels. We were fortunate enough to find a mini tonight. These don't show up very often in here, so that's a nice addition for the Red Sox with the Rafael Devers. It's numbered to 100 with the mini parallel. We have a couple of the white parallels, one for the Nationals and one for the Rangers. Then an action image variation for Francisco Lindor and the Indians. This is action again for Padres and Manny Machado. Here we have a color swap, the silver team name, Nationals and Juan Soto, and the Nationals with another color swap, silver team name, Max Scherzer. Then the Nationals aren't quite done yet. They've got a Juan Soto action image variation, and then there's a Chris Bryant action image variation. So those are our 6 variants that do generally fall 1 per box. Now listen, there are tons more high number short prints in there, I'm sure, because as you saw, it goes from 401 to 500. There's lots of them. These just happen to be the ones I caught when we were going through, so that's why you're seeing them recap. But all the cards ship, so you're going to get it. If we pulled it, you're going to get it. But there's the Twins and Marwin Gonzalez, Shohei Ohtani, Angels, Bryce Harper, Phillies, and Andrew McCutchen, Phillies. They just happened to catch my eye at the time we went past them. We had one autograph in this half of the case, but it is a doozy. Fernando Tatis Jr. for the Padres in the Real One Autograph Special Edition Parallel, which I think will be the red ink. That's kind of our general feeling consensus, so hopefully that's going to be the case. Jackie is here. Jackie Moon is my hero is your username. Hello to you too, friend. You're catching us there at the tail end, but we're still glad to have you, and really, you're just in time. You're here for the recap. A Clubhouse Collection relic, DJ LeMahieu. It is hand-numbered to 99 for the Yankees. And we have Patrick Corbin for the Nationals, the Cubbies, and Kyle Schwarber. Kershaw for the Dodgers, and Molina for the Cardinals. All right, so there's the break. There's the recap. I am going to put up the spreadsheet information here one final time. If you missed this earlier, you're going to have another opportunity now to find out when you can expect your items to ship. And then we'll also take one more look at what's going to be coming up in the days ahead. As soon as I can get myself on the right page, I'll bring you right along with me. All right, so I'm anticipating this to have a Thursday ship date. Yes, I know that is a little slower than normal. I will try to get it out to you faster than that. But hey, everybody's life is kind of upended right now, and we're just hanging in, doing the best we can to get everything done in any given day. And so therefore, I'm projecting Thursday. We'll try to get it out sooner. Everybody hit cards in here. We definitely do not need to worry about consolation cards in this break. Tons of cards. They all ship. Every team's going to have a bunch. Here's how it looks in the days ahead. This stuff is already listed on eBay, up and available for bidding right now. So tomorrow night, Sunday night, is an off night. Monday night, we're going to open another case of Inception Baseball. Tuesday, Tuesday, we're going to open a master case of Contenders Optic Football. That's a 20-box master case. It consists of two 10-box inner cases. On Wednesday night, that is the release of Gypsy Queen Baseball. We'll start a little bit early, 8:30 Eastern, 5:30 Pacific, and we will open a half case of Gypsy Queen to get things started on its release day. On Thursday night, we're going to open another case of Inception Baseball, a master case of Panini One Football, which is again a 20-box break. It will consist of two 10-box inner cases. And believe it or not, we have a Thursday release. Leave it to Leaf to do something that isn't a Wednesday or a Friday. They are bringing us Leaf Metal Draft Football on Thursday night. And we will break a 14-box case of that. I forgot to put this on our notes there, but that will sell as spots will be sold by first letter of the last name. So FYI, because obviously we haven't had the draft yet. We don't know what teams these guys go to, and I didn't feel like listing it as a player break, so there you go. So that is it for me tonight, and of course tomorrow night we're not doing any breaks, taking a night to get caught up on some sorting and getting ready to ship, so instead we will be back on Monday night. I hope I will see you again then, but if not then, do come back and see me sometime soon. In the meanwhile, enjoy the rest of your weekend, stay healthy, stay safe, and we'll see you on Monday. Bye now.